the VMware Sales Professional Certification Program. And it was a great way for me to learn about product and get a feel for what the opportunity might be. So thereafter, I instructed everyone in the office to become certified, and that was part of their goal. So Quobus is actually sales certified, but Peter's got VCP. And the guys I hired subsequently, one of the things I looked for when I was reading through CVs was that they came pre-qualified. So the guys that we added into our service organisation were certified. And the great thing about that was when we then go and talk to VMware, we can speak in their terminology. And I think that was the first icebreaker, actually proving our credibility to VMware locally. We knew the country manager from his previous days at Citrix. We knew of him. And I can remember that first meeting, Peter, we took a cup of coffee. Their office was 5 people then. And we kind of said, well, I'm having this cup of coffee because you're an OEM and we've got to. And that was really quite, we were put in our place. What we did find out is that they like to socialise. And drinking coffee is the first step. Peter ran a very successful event where we took a good selection of their staff to a game of cricket. And cricket's a wonderful thing. You can sit next to somebody for 7 hours. You can't get 7 hours in the office. You can get 7 hours at a cricket event. So I don't know if cricket works in each of our countries, but it's something similar where you can go and spend some time. Whenever we heard that there was a partner event or an OEM invite, we thought that we were as worthy as HP, Dell and IBM, so we pitched up and we were well received. We drank a lot of coffee. It was very much in those early days a courtship. Because we hadn't won anything. We were just taught that we had this deck of slides and we could do this stuff. We started small, we got a couple of very small wins under our belt. Peter spent a lot of time drink coffee with them, take them to the pub, take them to the cricket, engage with them as people. They're quite nice people actually. They're much easier to get on with than I found getting on with Microsoft. But as soon as we had something useful to talk about, as soon as we had a customer that was more, okay, so we're not going to get rich from licenses, but maybe your stuff is in a key position at one of these customers that we also have. And we're starting to work together there. The 50K guarantee absolutely blew them away locally. $50,000 in Africa, you could build a city with that. So I think more recently, because of the likes of the big Nedbank win, we really are quite interesting to them now. It's like, well, hey, this is slightly bigger revenue. We've engaged with them now such that we have a monthly meeting in our office. We have the opportunity to use their offices to take our customers. They have, in each of their offices, they have a rack for the OEMs to put storage and servers. So we have our 4Us for our FT server in their offices. Tier 1 is where they are playing this year. We met with them 3 weeks ago. We had a 3.5-hour meeting in our office. We had the sales lead who looks after the top 10 accounts. We had the sales lead that looks after all the other accounts. We had a territory manager for the government, and we had a territory manager for the rest of Africa. And we had the OEM manager for 3.5 hours. That was quite an investment of their time. We provided sandwiches and soft drinks and a few drinks. We put a strategy together which was, okay, your product is perfect and so is ours, but really how can we help each other? And what came out of that 3.5 hours was 2 major accounts of theirs are having outages. And they would like us to be the last of last to fix that. So one of them's a bank and one of them's a stock exchange. Both very large accounts for VMware, and then he's going to have an introduction to Stratus by VMware. And I think that that is a really good indication of how strong the relationship is. Likewise, the bank that we as yet don't have a presence in, the introduction will come through another partner. So for us, that really does show how the relationship has developed. And pretty much we recommended the mixed data center model that you have seen Denny present, which is a pile of existing hardware, happens to be HP, some additional Stratus hardware, and that's in the data center. And the further you get out, the bigger the problem becomes. So in the branches, VMware does not fit. It's too expensive. 2 servers, storage, VMware. And this is a real problem for VMware. So in our presentation to the post office, we suggested that Advance would be an ideal product for the branch. And to my surprise, they were very supportive of us taking Advance forward for this customer. But the reason for this is VMware absolutely do not want Microsoft to show their value with Hyper-V to an organisation of that size. They had accepted that VMware were going to get the enterprise in the data centre, but they were really threatened by what might happen in the branch. VMware said they would rather support us with Advance in at this account than see Microsoft go. And I think that's something we should look at. We shouldn't look at Advance as being threatening. Well, on the virtualization front, I think Peter gets full credit for his unofficial tagline, which was availability virtualized. And under that, it can be any of the three. I think, that's, we've got many choices. We've got the best products that we've had in a long time.